welcome back to my channel. Doing something different and new that I haven't really tried out or explored before. So if you are not new to my channel, then you know I call a lot of for sale by owners, and a very large percentage of my business comes from for sale by owners. So I don't know about you guys, but where I'm at least, I've definitely been noticing a bit of a shift in the market. And I'm not saying, I think it's still technically a seller's market, but I've definitely, especially since I list a lot and I'm mostly just a listing agent, I've been noticing a lot of my listings sitting longer, and I've been seeing more expired listings on the market, and I just definitely have been noticing things not totally slowed down, but like I've definitely noticed things kind of even out, if that makes sense, to more of a even market instead of just a buyer's market or a seller's market, which a seller's market is what it has been. So because of that, I've been thinking, and I know when it's a buyer's market, there's less FSBOs, is what I've heard at least. I don't know from personal experience because I wasn't in real estate last time it was a buyer's market. But I've heard that when it's a buyer's market, there's less for sale by owners because people right now, or what it has been, it's been a hot seller's market. So everyone's like, why do I need a realtor? I can sell on my own in 2 days because, the market's so hot. But when things slow down, and when it is more of a buyer's market, I've heard that there's less FSBOs. And I've been really thinking that I need to start working expired listings because, like I said, my main source of leads are coming from FSBOs at this point. And if things change and there's less FSBOs, then that's not cool, I gotta make money somehow. So that's where this vlog, I apologize about the really, really long intro, but that is where this vlog is going to begin. So tomorrow I have all my meetings set up, and then after my meetings, I time blocked the rest of the day out so that I have nothing else to distract me or bother me, nothing else going on. And I'm gonna take the rest of the day to drive directly to some expired listings. And I also, while I'm at it, I'll probably stop at a few FSBOs, but tomorrow is mainly for expired listings. And I've never done this before, so I'm gonna take you guys with me. And I plan to approach expired listings in a very similar fashion that I approached FSBOs. Whereas I'm gonna have systems in place. I'm gonna send them my listing presentation, knock on their door, introduce myself, just follow up. So I think it's gonna be pretty similar. And I'm just gonna take the skills that I've gained from working FSBOs and apply them to expireds, which I'm kind of excited about because these people, they already were planning on using a realtor. So yeah, they might be a little bitter with realtors now because it clearly didn't work out. But for the most part, they're not planning on selling on their own, and they're not super cheap like FSBOs are. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what I was talking about when I was telling you about my market, how the market's been here, and what I've been noticing as a listing agent. I've been noticing things sitting longer. I'd love to hear if it's like that where you guys are. If any of you guys work expireds currently and you have any tips for that, I'd love to hear about that as well in the comments below. Right now, like I said, I'm gonna be driving to the expired listings tomorrow. So right now I'm just doing my prep work, doing my homework, getting everything ready so that when tomorrow comes, I can just be prepared and drive to them and not have to worry about any of the other things. So on this really, really fancy piece of paper, I have all my expireds written out in a very organized way, if you can tell. And yeah, there's a lot of numbers or addresses on this letter, front and back. So I'm right now I'm going to be just writing out in in a more organized fashion all of the addresses that I'm driving to, and then I'm gonna plan my route. And yeah, that's really the prep work that I'm gonna be working on. And then I guess I will follow up with the vlog tomorrow when I'm driving to the expired listings and fill you guys in on what has happened. Today is the day that I am driving to expired listings. So I have I'm gonna vlog along the way, and this is my first time ever doing this. I have never in my life knocked on an expired's door. I have definitely knocked on a for sale by owner's door. Obviously, if you watch my videos, you know that that's what I talk about most of the time. But like I was saying earlier, I'm trying to learn expired listings and master that as well. So I'm going to be using very similar tactics with expireds to what I do with FSBOs already. So I have 7 different houses that I'm driving to all right now. There's a couple in South Salem, a couple in Kaiser, a couple in North Salem, and I might even drive to Woodburn. Not really sure about that one yet. So it's 4:30, and I was really hoping that I would be done with this by now, because by 4:30, so I don't hit 5 o'clock traffic. But it was just one of those days, and I couldn't get out of the office until now. And so, you know, if I were to just decide to do this another day, I feel like it will never happen. So who cares? Regardless of the traffic, I'm just going for it. And if it takes me all afternoon, it'll take me all afternoon. So what I'm going to do, so actually, okay, backtrack. So I, while I was in the office, I prepared a fancy schmancy listing presentation to send to each of these expired listings. And I'm actually using the same exact presentation that I send to FSBOs. So, didn't make anything new. If you guys are curious, because I've had a lot of people ask about, like what my presentation is that I send them. I shared that in another video. So, I can't remember what was the video called. I think it was called Listing Appointments Real Estate Vlog, something like that. I don't know. But I know I've shared it before, so find it in my previous videos if you're interested. So I'm sending each expired a listing presentation in the mail. That just went out. So they'll get that within the next day or two. All this mail right here is going to expired listings. So I put each of the expired listings on a drip campaign. So basically, I already prepared them here, and now every few days I'll send them each a piece of mail. They'll probably get like 4 pieces of mail from me, and the mail that I'm sending them is very similar actually to what I send to for sale by owners, basically just providing value. So tips for selling your home quickly. One of them is my bio, and it just has information on me, but most of them are just pieces of paper that give them tips about the home selling process, that kind of thing. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing. And now I'm going to drive directly to the expired listings, just like I do when I drive directly to for sale by owners, and I'm gonna knock on the door and introduce myself. I don't have a script, which may or may not be a good idea. I guess we'll find out. But what I plan to say is just, I'm just gonna introduce myself and be really confident and tell them that they need me to sell their home for them, and hopefully I get a listing. So I know it's all on the follow-up. So after this, I plan to follow up. So I have all their phone numbers, so I'm going to continue to call them, continue to send them mail. I am bringing with me, in this little folder, I'm bringing each expired listing some information on the selling process that my company provides that us agents use. So they're just fancy, nice paper. This one says my pledge as a seller's agent, and the rest are basically just more tips for selling your home and information on our company. My phone is on 15%. So yeah, clearly I didn't think this whole thing through that well. So if my phone dies before I can make it to all 7 of these houses, then obviously I'm gonna have to stop and then pick up where I left off another day when I have some time to do this. So hopefully I make it through all these houses. If not, you might see me another day finishing this video. So we'll see what happens. It's clearly another day. So yesterday when I was driving to the expired listings and FSBOs, my phone ended up dying. So I didn't make it because obviously I needed my GPS to get to these houses I'd never been to before. So I'm continuing on today with my driving to FSBOs and expireds and knocking on the doors. But first, I'm just gonna give a quick little like recap of how the ones that I've driven to thus far went. So I've driven to 3 houses so far. The first one I drove to, it was actually a for sale by owner. I know I'm supposed to be doing expireds right now, but it was a FSBO. I just threw a couple FSBOs in the list because I was there in the area I was going to. So the first one I went to was a FSBO, and I went inside, and the sellers were actually like super excited, and the sellers were really nice. They were asking me a lot of questions. I stayed there for quite a while, and I just knocked on the door and introduced myself. So I'm gonna follow up with them, and they asked for more information in the mail. Okay, so the second person I drove to, it was a gated house. I showed up to the gate, and I just kind of sat there for a while until someone came to let me in because I didn't obviously know the code or know what to do. So I just pretty much rolled down my window and asked them if they wanted to get their house back on the market and get it sold. And they had already relisted it, even though it just expired. So that's what happened there. And then the third house I went to, the last one I went to yesterday, I showed up, and it was a really old lady that lived there, and she had no clue that I think she was like senile, like old, really old. Okay, so she didn't even know her house was listed, but it was the right house and it was expired. So I think, I don't know, maybe she had like a power of attorney and her kids listed it for her. I really don't know the situation, but this lady was just confused. And so I left her some information and then I left. So that is how my 3 expired listings I've driven to thus far has gone. And I will follow up with you guys after I do some more. I'm gonna drive to them right now. I have my coffee, sugar-free pumpkin spice latte with coconut milk, and I'm ready to go. I just got to the next house. This one is a for sale by owner, and I'm about to go knock on their door and introduce myself. Before I go in, just a few things. Being in the right headspace is super, super important. So something that I do is I say out loud, for sale by owners want to talk to me. They're waiting for me to knock on their door, and this for sale by owner really needs my help, and I'm gonna go help them get their house sold. So just things like that. I don't have like a list of things that I always say, but just those type of things, just to kind of like get myself in the right headspace and encourage myself. So let's go. I just got to another expired listing, and I don't think anyone's home, so I just wrote a little note on some of the information I'm leaving them, and it just said, "Hi, I saw your listing expired and was wondering if you were ready to get that sold." I'm gonna give them that, and then I'm gonna give them my card, and hopefully someone's home. Finished driving to the expired listings. So some of them were home, some of them weren't home. The goal for today was simply to get in front of these sellers and meet them face to face. And that's what I did. As soon as I left, I sent them all handwritten thank you notes. And then I also, like I was saying earlier, I have a listing presentation that will be at their door in a few days that I already sent yesterday. And then I also have a drip like mail campaign that I put them on. And then of course I'm gonna call to follow up. So those are all the ways I'm really gonna try to touch these expired listings. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any video suggestions, feel free to leave that in the comments below. And if you're a realtor and you live outside of the state of Oregon and you have a client relocating to Oregon, send them my way. I'd love to give you a referral fee. I will see you next time.